everyone, and welcome to the latest TBU merch review. I'm Dustin with the BatmanUniverse.net, and today we are taking a look at something just a little bit different. This isn't specifically a Batman Universe item, but it kind of aligns with the Batman Universe. As you can see, we are taking a look at a 2-pack of toys. This is from Moose Toys. This is from the Space Jam: A New Legacy film, and this is called the Dynamic Duo Pack with a 12-inch LeBron James as Robin and a 9-inch Bugs Bunny as Batman. This set is very unique. It also is something that you're not going to find probably in stores at this moment, mostly because I'm pretty sure the Space Jam toys have come off the shelves at this point. But as you can see, this is based off of the sequel to the original Space Jam that released in the 90s. This movie did release in July of 2021, and these toys shortly showed up on store shelves shortly after the film released. And I'm guessing they probably showed up right around August of 2021. There's a whole line of toys that Moose Toys actually released. I kind of stumbled across this searching for Batman toys online and came across it and thought, it's not every day that you see LeBron James as a Robin and Bugs Bunny as a Batman. For those of you who didn't see the film, I'm not going to obviously review the film here, but I will say there's a whole plot line that has to do with the Looney Tune character, LeBron James specifically having to have a basketball game against a computer program. The computer program allows him to go find people to have as part of his basketball team, and he searches the Warner Brothers servers for a variety of characters. So as he comes into contact with different properties from Warner Brothers, one of those properties is the DC Universe. And when they arrive, Bugs Bunny takes the place of Batman, and then LeBron James appears as Robin. So that is the explanation as to why this happens, but that is it. So as we open up the package, it's pretty obvious what you're going to get. You're going to get a large LeBron James figure, and you're going to get a Bugs Bunny figure. And there's also a couple of accessories. The one catch, of course, is that there is a special feature that isn't as obvious as you think by looking at the outside of the packaging, but there's a sound feature actually present on LeBron James's utility belt. That said, I also want to mention that these figures not only released in this larger 12-inch form, with LeBron obviously being the 12-inch figure and Bugs being smaller, but the exact same version of the figures, that being LeBron James as Robin and Bugs Bunny as Batman, released separately as 5-inch figures as part of Moose Toys lineup as well. So there's those available as well. I can almost promise you I'm not going to be tracking those down, mostly because this is kind of just a very unusual thing for us to review, but I thought it was kind of cool and different, and that's why I picked it up and decided let's take a look at this, mostly because of just the connection to Batman and Robin, because of the Warner Brothers connection that the film deals with within the confines of the plot. So that is why we are taking a look at this, but I just wanted to make sure you're aware. You may be able to find the 5-inch versions of these figures. The biggest difference is going to be the accessories and that sound feature. These 12-inch ones have a sound feature available on them. Specifically LeBron James. So as you can take a look at the figures once we got them out of the package, you can see there is a couple of different accessories, and there is the two figures themselves. Obviously, LeBron is going to be taller because in the cartoon world of the film, that is what's happening. The set does come with a small instruction manual. This is specifically talking about, 1, how the accessories work, and 2, how the sound feature works, as well as how to replace the batteries. So it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot here that is really super informative. I will say it was not easy to figure out. Well, I shouldn't say not easy, but it was a little bit, it took the instructions to explain what the pegs on either side of Bugs Bunny's utility belt. So as we can take a look at the Bugs Bunny figure, the figure itself there's not a ton of articulation. You've got elbows, you've got shoulders, you've got the neck, and you've got hips. That's about it. There's nothing else that moves. The feet, the knees, none of that move. It's got a cloth cape. Unfortunately, the way they pegged it inside of the packaging, there's going to be a hole on both of this cape and the Robin cape because of that. The ears are obviously Bugs Bunny ears, which make them probably the longest ears you're ever going to find in a bat suit, because let's be honest, you're not going to find it. As you see, the accessories are one of them. We'll get into the accessories a little bit later, but in more detail. But there's two batarangs. There's silver batarangs, and they fit not only in Bugs's hands, but they also fit on his utility belt using the different size pegs. So you can actually put both of the batarangs on either side of his utility belt, and you can actually have it so that he's ready to have that. The other accessory that comes with him is a grapple gun, which obviously is a grapple gun. Batman's closely associated, but there's a little bit of a on the nose thing. The grapple gun is shaped somewhat similarly to the shape of a carrot, and it's orange. So there's that. All right, so as we look at LeBron, again, you've got articulation in the shoulders, the elbows, and the hips, and the head. That is it. Right there in the middle of the utility belt, you'll see a button where you would typically see the Robin symbol or just the plain yellow. But that button is going to allow the sound. We're going to go over the sound features in a second. But it's very simplistic when it comes to the articulation. On the back of the figure, you can see that there is that hole that I mentioned from the packaging, which is unfortunate. And on the very back of the figure, that's where the 3 button batteries are going to go in the figure to make that sound feature work. So as you look at the figure, it's a pretty good representation of Robin, that is. This figure does come with an accessory, which is a bow staff, but not any bow staff I've ever seen Robin use. So there's that. But overall, it's exactly what you would expect to be from a 12-inch figure. There's nothing super unusual. One of the hands does have the ability to hold the batarang, so that is possible. The bow staff will only fit in the other hand. It's not going to fit in both hands, specifically because of that. So let's get into some of the sounds.
Now we got to crew up. We having fun yet? Let's end this. We're going to need the most powerful Warner Brothers characters for this team. Yo, Bugs, you coming? Yo, Bugs, you coming? We having fun yet? Come on, Toons. We got to get to work. We're going to need the most powerful Warner Brothers characters for this team. Now we got to crew up. Let's end this. Come on, Toons. We got to get to work.
So as you can see, some of them, they kind of cycle through. Some of them are the same. It's kind of random. It's not necessarily in an exact pattern. Here we're taking a look at the accessories in just a little bit closer detail. We have the grapple gun. Now we have the batarangs. There's the 2 pegs. One are going to fit on the hand. One's going to fit on Bugs' utility belt. The Robin figure or LeBron figure does not have pegs on the utility belt for that. The bow staff, like I said earlier, it's not any bow staff you would expect Robin to have. It almost reminds me of like the old Gladiators bugle sticks that they used to use, even though they don't have the tips or the Q-tip looks. But I'm not sure why, or a pogo stick even. But overall, it's a very simple set. That said, if your kids love Batman and your kids love Bugs Bunny, this is a great set. The other option, obviously, is you can go for the 5-inch figure with Bugs Bunny by himself. If your kids are not a fan of LeBron James, if your kids are, you could get this set as a complete set, the Dynamic Duo set from Moose Toys. So overall, it's an interesting set. The sound feature is what makes it unique. It makes it a little bit different than obviously the 5-inch figures. And it's actually reasonably priced for what you actually get compared to some of the other offerings out there when it comes to action figures. But a lot of that has to do with the lack of articulation and the fact that it is just exactly what you see is what you get kind of situation. It's very simple, but they will work alongside some of the Spin Master 12-inch figures that they've released. And you could, I guess, have a specific, your kids could have a nice little way of playing with them. So With all that being said, if you're interested in purchasing this item, please take a moment to actually consider using our affiliate link, which you can find in the video description, as well as the article that this video is in. That affiliate link allows us to do other TBU merch reviews, as well as do everything else that you see when you are on the BatmanUniverse.net. If you're interested in anything related to Batman, whether it be movies, television, video games, merchandise, or comics, or anything else related to Batman, be sure to check out our website, thebatmanuniverse.net, for all kinds of news, original content, podcasts, and everything else. If you're interested in following us on social media, we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a Discord. All of our social links can be found on our website. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That is always greatly appreciated. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this TBU merch review. I'm Dustin with thebatmanuniverse.net, and we will see you next time.